Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law she can have her favorite cake on her birthday? So, this whole situation has been driving me insane, and I honestly don't know if I'm overreacting or if my mother-in-law Peggy is just being impossible. My son Marcus is turning 5, and anyone who's been around a kid this age knows how much they look forward to their birthday. For weeks, he's been talking nonstop about his party, who he wants to invite, what games they'll play, and most importantly, what cake he wants. Marcus has his heart set on a chocolate cake with chocolate icing. It's all he talks about. He's been dreaming about this cake as if it's the centerpiece of his whole celebration. Naturally, I said yes. It's his birthday, and I've always believed that birthdays are special days where you get to make some of your own decisions, especially as a child. The cake choice? That's a no-brainer. It should be whatever makes the birthday boy happiest. But here's where it gets complicated. Enter my mother-in-law, Peggy, who has a habit of making everything about herself. Don't get me wrong, Peggy isn't a terrible person all the time, but she definitely has a tendency to stir the pot, and her sense of entitlement is on a whole other level. I've been dealing with her little digs and passive-aggressive comments since I married my husband, but this time, it really got to me. A couple of days ago, Marcus was over at her house, innocently telling her all about his big birthday plans. Of course, he couldn't contain his excitement when he mentioned the chocolate cake with chocolate icing. That's when Peggy, with her classic eye roll, said something along the lines of, "Well, I don't like chocolate cake. You should really pick something everyone can enjoy." She said it as if Marcus should be thinking about her preferences instead of his own. Marcus, in that innocent way only a 5-year-old can, replied, "It's not your birthday, so you don't get a say." And honestly, I was kind of proud of him for standing up for himself. Now, this might sound a little sassy coming from a child, but Marcus was only repeating something I had told him a few weeks earlier. We'd gone to a friend's birthday party, and Marcus hadn't liked the cake flavor. We had a discussion afterward about how the birthday person gets to choose their cake, because it's their special day. It's a lesson in respecting other people's choices and learning that not everything revolves around you, which I thought was a pretty important lesson for him to understand. But Peggy was shocked. She sat there, blinking at him like he'd just committed some kind of unpardonable offense. Then she looked at me for backup, but I wasn't about to contradict my son for saying something he learned from me. Instead, I told her, "When it's your birthday, you can pick whatever flavor of cake you want." That's when things blew up. Peggy's face twisted in that way it does when she's about to start something, and she called me a bitch and Marcus a spoiled brat. I was taken aback, but I wasn't about to let her speak to my son that way. So I told her, flat out, "With that attitude, you won't be coming to the party." Of course, that didn't sit well with her, and when my husband Dave got home, he was in the middle of it before he even had time to take off his jacket. Peggy had called him, probably crying on the phone, and Dave was like, "WTF happened?" He tried to talk me into ordering an extra cake, one Peggy would enjoy, just to smooth things over. He thought I was being rude to her, and I think part of him just wanted to avoid the conflict. But I wasn't having it. I told him point blank that this wasn't about Peggy. It's Marcus's birthday, not hers. And giving in to her demands just teaches our son that it's okay to feel entitled to special treatment on other people's occasions. It would undermine the whole lesson we'd been trying to teach him. Marcus needs to learn that not everything revolves around him all the time, and this is his moment to enjoy his day. If we start making special accommodations for Peggy just because she's difficult, what message does that send? Dave, to his credit, saw where I was coming from. He agreed that giving in to Peggy would confuse Marcus and make him feel like other people's preferences are more important than his on his birthday. But of course, Peggy didn't let it go. She's been stewing over it for days. She even demanded that Marcus write her an apology note for what he said. She claimed that he needed to learn respect, and that his comment about her not having a say in the cake flavor was disrespectful. But both Dave and I feel like Marcus didn't do anything wrong. He was simply repeating what we taught him, that the birthday person gets to make those kinds of decisions. Now Peggy's taking it a step further. She called and said that unless she gets an apology note from Marcus, she's not coming to the birthday party or getting him a gift. And honestly, I'm fine with that. I told her, "That's your choice, because I'm not going to make my son feel like he did something wrong for standing up for his own birthday cake." I get that Peggy might feel slighted, but this is about Marcus, not her. Birthdays are meant to be special for the person celebrating, and I refuse to let her take that away from him. If she can't handle not getting her way for one day, then that's on her, not us. So now I'm sitting here wondering, am I the asshole for standing up for my son and telling my mother-in-law she can have her favorite cake on her birthday, but not on his? Should I have just let her have her way to keep the peace, or was I right to stand my ground and teach Marcus that his special day is his own?